Hi, my name's Miranda. I'm going to take you through a flow session to address a forward tilt of the pelvis. So when we stand with the bottom sticking out slightly, tummy muscles not clocked on enough. So mostly the session will be addressing glutes, helping to strengthen the glutes, helping to strengthen the lower abs, but also addressing some other imbalances in the body. Just before we start though, you might want to just check, standing against a wall, how much of a forward tilt you have if you do have one. So when you are against a wall, just slide your hand in behind your lower back. You should be able to slide your hand comfortably, but without being able to move your hand around. It should be snug. So if your hand can flap around behind you, you do have a forward tilt. So this will be particularly helpful for you. And the forward tilt of the pelvis comes from a lot of sitting, and so many of us spend too much time sitting. What we're going to start with is a movement that I find is such a lovely balance for sitting. Counter pose. Take your feet a little bit wider. Soften your knees and take your hands onto your hips and circle your hips. And close your eyes if you're happy to. This really is such a great movement for the pelvis. You may feel tummy muscles waking up, the sides of the hips, the buttocks, front of the hips, getting a bit of a stretch, one then the other. Even your pelvic floor gets a good workout, and the pelvic floor can be very slack when we have that forward tilt of the pelvis. So this addresses all the muscles in and around the pelvis, bringing balance back to them. So just observing. And then take the circle in the other direction. You'll probably find you've gone the direction that's easiest for you. So just maybe one way isn't as smooth, isn't as easy as the other. So again, observing. And it's a great movement to do if you have been sitting at a desk for a long time or sitting in a car for a long time. And then come back to center. And one thing, just as a little tip for those of you who do know that you have that tendency to tip forwards, is as you're walking, just whenever you walk, just think about having a battery pack in your bottom. So as you walk, visualize you're being powered forwards by that battery pack in your bottom, and you'll really find that the glutes fire up more and stop that tip as you walk. So come to the front of your mat, arms by your sides. Inhale, rotate your arms, take them up, lift your breastbone. Exhale, bend your legs, chest onto your thighs, hands to the floor and straighten your legs as much as they straighten. Bend your knees, step back with your right leg, reach back with your right heel. And exhale, bring your knees to the floor and the front of the foot flat. Inhale, come into a lunge, arms up, shoulders down. And just being aware in this lunge, it's very tempting to tip the pelvis forwards. So tip your pelvis back a little bit. Feel that stretch in the front of that right hip. On an exhale, take your hands back down. Inhale, tuck your toes under, lift your right knee, reach back with your right heel. And exhale into downward dog. And just take a moment to pedal your legs in downward dog, feeling that lovely stretch. Then inhale, come to your knees. And exhale, sink back, bottom onto your heels. On an inhale, imagine you're rolling a ball along the floor with your nose, coming forwards, keep your elbows in and your shoulders away from your ears. Coming up into a cobra. And then coming back down on an exhale. Make a pillow with your hands. Rest them underneath your head. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze your buttocks. Inhale, relax. Exhale, squeeze your buttocks. Again, really firing up the glutes. Inhale, relax. Exhale, squeeze the buttocks. Notice how the front of the hips move closer towards the floor as you squeeze. And then we're going to raise the legs. Inhale, take your right leg up. Exhale, take it down. Inhale, left leg up. Exhale down. Don't tip your pelvis. Keep your pelvis level. So just raising the leg releases the front of the hip. and engages the glutes and hamstrings. And hamstrings have a tendency to be weak. Lower back is working too. Just listening to your body as you move, lifting the leg up on the inhale, down on the exhale. When you've done the left leg, make that the last time. Hands underneath your shoulders, shoulders away from your ears. And inhale, open up into a cobra. Exhale, come back down. Inhale, opening up into a cobra, into a back bend. Making sure you only come up as high as your lower back is happy. Don't push into a place where your back doesn't like it. Inhaling up. Keep your elbows in, shoulders down, neck soft. So again, feeling the front of the hips releasing in order to come up into a back bend. Tuck your toes under as you inhale, and on an exhale, come back into downward dog. Inhale, step your right foot forwards. Make sure your knee is above your ankle, then step the left foot forwards too, and fold further. Bend your legs, inhale, come up. Reach up and stretch a little bit of a back bend. And exhale, come to breath. Arms by your sides. Inhale, rotate your arms, take them up again, lift your breastbone, a little bit of a back bend. Exhale, bend your legs, chest onto your thighs, then straighten your legs as much as they straighten. Bend your knees, step back with your left leg, reach back with the left heel. Exhale, bring the knees to the floor and the front of the foot flat. Inhaling again, coming up into lunge. Arms up, shoulders down. And again, just think about tipping your pelvis back a little bit, so you're not tipping your pelvis forwards here. Just a little bit of a tip back with the pelvis. Observe. And on an exhale again, and come back down. Inhale, tuck your toes under, lift your left knee, reach back with your heel. And exhale, come back into downward dog. Inhale, come to your knees. And exhale, sink back, bottom onto your heels. Inhale, come along the floor again, imagining you're rolling a marble along the floor or a bigger ball, opening up into Cobra. Exhaling again and come down. Hands underneath your face. Squeeze your buttocks on the exhale. Inhale, relax. Exhale, squeeze your buttocks. Again, notice how there's that release in the front of the hips. And it's such a good thing to know this. So when we're very tight in the front of the hips, squeezing our glutes really helps to release them. Just remembering that often our bottom muscles, our glutes, are not strong enough for that tightness in the front of the hips. Then when you're ready to, on an inhale, take your right leg up. Exhale down. Inhale, left leg. Exhale down. Inhale, right. Exhale down. Inhale, left. Exhale down. One more time, each side. Listening to your body again. And then hands underneath your shoulders, elbows in. Inhale, open up into a Cobra. Exhale, come back down. Inhaling, open up. So you can keep it smooth, keep it soft. Exhale, come back down. Again, inhale, come up. Tuck your toes under. And exhale, come back into downward dog. Inhale, step your left leg forwards. Make sure the knee is above your ankle and step your right foot forwards on the exhale, folding further. Bend your legs, inhale, come up. Reach up, stretch, and exhale to breath. Arms by your sides. Inhale again, rotate your arms, take them up, lift your breastbone. Exhale, bend your legs, chest onto your thighs, hands to the floor and straighten your legs as much as they straighten. Bend your knees, step back with your right leg, reach back with your right heel. And exhale, bring the knees to the floor and the front of the foot flat. Coming up again into lunge. And again, just make sure you're not tipping your pelvis forward, so just a little bit of a tip back with the pelvis. And we're going to use a little bit of extra engagement here. We're going to squeeze the glutes to release the front of the hip. So inhale, exhale, squeeze your right buttock. It sounds a little bit of a strange instruction. Inhale, relax. Exhale, squeeze your right buttock. Feel the release in the front of the hip. Inhale, relax. One more time. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, relax. Exhale, turn to the left. Coming into a twist. Right hand to the outside of your thigh. Left hand behind your back. And turn. And breathe. So you'll feel a little bit more of a stretch in that right hip. Breathe deeply. So breathing through the nose as much as you can, always. Then inhale, come back to center, arms up. Exhale, take your hands back down. Tuck your toes under, inhale, lift your right knee, reach back with the heel, feel that stretch in the front of the hip there. And exhale into downward dog. Inhale, come to your knees, we're going to stay here, so front of the feet flat, shoulders away from your ears, outward wave of the hands. So you want the crease of the elbows to come towards the front of the room, the front of the mat. And then make sure, you're probably, if you have a forward tilt your pelvis, you're probably tipping your pelvis forwards here, so your lower back is dropping. Draw your pelvis, draw your tummy button up. Really flatten your lower back. Then straighten your right leg. Make sure the tummy muscles are still drawing up. Inhale. Exhale, flatten your belly more and raise your right leg. Don't dip your pelvis forwards. Inhale, foot down. Exhale, keep your back neutral and raise your right leg. Inhale, back down. And again, keep it up, take it up. And keep going. So again, we're working the back of the leg, bottom muscles, and abdominal muscles, making sure we don't dip in the pelvis, dip in the lower back. Then bend your right leg, keeping your back neutral again. Inhale, lift the leg higher. Exhale, lower. Inhale, higher. Exhale, lower. Inhale, higher. Exhale, lower. Knee back on the floor. Tuck your toes under and back into downward dog. Inhale, take your right leg up. Reach up and stretch. Exhale, step that foot forwards. Knee above your ankle. Inhale, left foot forwards. And exhale, fold. Bend your legs. Inhale, come up. Reach up and stretch. A little bit of back bend. Exhale, hands to prayer. Arms by your sides. Inhale again, rotate your arms, take them up, lift your breastbone. Exhale, bend your legs, chest onto your thighs, hands to the floor and straighten. Bend your knees, step back with your left leg, reach back with the left heel, and exhale, bring your knees to the floor and the front of the foot flat. Inhaling again, arms up. And again, check the direction of your pelvis so you're not tipping forwards. So a little bit of tip back. The hands are on the hips, it's a dipping back. And again, we're going to use those glutes. So inhale. Exhale, squeeze your left buttock. Feel that release. Inhale, relax. Exhale, squeeze the left buttock. Inhale, relax. Again, exhale, squeeze it. Inhale, relax. Exhale, take your left hand to the outside of your right thigh, right hand behind you. And again, come into that twist. So it's turning off to the right. And again, breathe deeply. Just again, checking you're not tipping your pelvis forwards. Keep that pelvis, the pubic bone lifted. Think about the pubic bone reaching forwards. Breathe. And inhale, take your arms back up. Exhaling, take your hands to the floor. Tuck your toes under, inhale, lift your left knee, reach back with the heel. And exhale into downward dog. Inhale, come to your knees. Again, front of the feet flat. Make sure again the crease of the elbows are turning towards the front of the mat, shoulders away from your ears. And again, make sure you're not tipping your pelvis forward. So draw your belly up, flattening your lower back. Straighten your left leg, reach away with the heel, and again, check you're not tipping your pelvis forwards. Inhale. Exhale, flatten your belly more, raise that leg. Inhale, foot down. Exhale, flatten your belly, raise the leg. Inhale down, a few more times. So again, just making sure you're not dropping your pelvis, tipping your pelvis forwards here. Keep the belly lifted. The next time you lift the leg, bend it. Keeping the pelvis neutral. Inhale, lift your leg higher. Exhale, lower it a little. Inhale, lift it higher. Exhale, lower it a little. Inhale, higher. Exhale, knees to the floor. Tuck your toes under, back into downward dog. Inhale, step your left foot forwards, knee above your ankle. Exhale, right and fold. Bend your legs, inhale, come up, reach up and stretch. And exhale, hands to prayer. Arms by your sides. Inhale, rotate your arms, take them up. Lift your breastbone. Exhale, bend your legs, chest onto your thighs, hands to the floor and straighten your legs. Bend your knees, step back with your right leg, reach back with your right heel, and exhale, come into a high lunge. Arms up, shoulders down. And again, the tendency for you might be to lean forwards. So again, think about your pubic bone reaching forwards and up a bit, lifting a little. Actively reach back with your right heel. We're going to come with the right knee down towards the floor. So inhale, exhale, lower your right knee almost to the floor. Inhale, lift it, reach back. Exhale, lower the knee almost to the floor. Inhale, lift, reach back. One more time. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, reach back. Exhale, take your hands to the floor. Inhaling. Exhale into downward dog. Inhale, come to your knees. And exhale, sink back. Inhale along the floor, coming forwards and up into Cobra. And exhale, lower down and come into elbows. Into Sphinx onto your elbows. Make sure your shoulders are away from your ears. Your breastbone is reaching forwards. And just take a moment here. It's another lovely stretch for the front of the hips, the whole of the front of the body. Then tuck your toes under. We're going to engage the abdominal muscles here. So we're going to lift the hips up, but if you think about leading through your tummy button, so rather than lifting up through your hips, let the tummy button lead that way. It'll stop you from tipping your pelvis forwards. So inhale, exhale, lift up through your tummy button. Inhale, come back down. Exhale, lift up through your tummy button. Inhale, cut and come back down. Keep going. Really lifting up through the tummy button to make sure you don't tip your pelvis forwards, because this is a very common mistake in plank, in elbow plank. And a lot of times when tummy muscles should be working, you're actually making the back work harder. Tummy muscles not really doing their job. If you're happy, stay here. And then either have a rest, or if you're happy to, on an exhale, lift your knees, reach back with the heels. Inhale, knees to the floor. Exhale, lift your knees, reach away with the heels. Inhale, knees to the floor. One more time. And come down. Hands back underneath your shoulders, tuck your toes under. Back into downward dog. Inhale, take your right leg up. And then we're going to pulse it. So just take that right leg up and down a little. Left heel is reaching the floor. So just pulsing that leg up and down a little. Then up a little higher. And exhale, step the foot forwards. Inhale, left foot forwards. Exhale, fold. Bend your legs, inhale, come up. And exhale to prayer. Arms by your sides. Inhale, rotate your arms, take them up, lift your breastbone. Exhale, bend your legs, chest onto your thighs, hands to the floor and straighten. Bend your knees, step back with your left leg, reach back with the heel. And exhale again into high lunge. Arms up, shoulders down. Again, make sure you're not tipping your pelvis forwards. So think about your pubic bone, reaching forwards and up a little. Going to lower that left leg. Inhale. Exhale, lower your left knee. maybe almost to the floor, maybe not so far. Inhale, lift, reach back. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift, reach back. One more time. Lower. Inhale, lift, reach back. Exhale, hands to the floor. Inhaling. And exhale into downward dog. Inhale, come to your knees. Exhale, sink back, bottom onto your heels. Inhaling along the floor, coming forwards and up into Cobra. And again, exhale, lower down and come onto your elbows. So again, make sure your elbows are directly underneath your shoulders, shoulders away from your ears and your breastbone forwards. Tuck your toes under, and again we're going to lead up through the tummy button. So inhale, exhale, lead your tummy button to take that lift. Inhale, back down. Exhale, lift up through your tummy button, so hips lift, but you're leading with the tummy button. Inhale, come back down, keep going. Really think about leading through the tummy button. The next time you come up, stay up. Observe. And again, just check that you're not tipping your pelvis forwards, you're really lifting up through the tummy button. If you're happy to, on an exhale, lift your knees, reach your way with the heels. Inhale, knees to the floor, otherwise come for a rest. Exhale, lift your knees, reach back with your heels. Inhale, knees to the floor. One more time, exhale, lift your knees, reach your way with the heels. Inhale, knees to the floor, come down, hands on the floor, elbows in, toes under. And on an exhale, back into downward dog. Inhale, take your left leg up. We're going to stay here again, so take your right heel down a bit. Inhale, left leg up a little higher. Exhale, lower it a little. And again, just pulse it. Pulsing that leg up and down. Inhale up a little higher. And exhale, step it forwards. Right leg forwards. Exhale, fold. Bend your legs, inhale, come up. And exhale to prayer. Arms by your sides. Inhale, rotate your arms, take them up, lift your breastbone. Exhale, bend your legs, chest onto your thighs, hands to the floor and straighten. And then bend your legs, step back with one leg. And then take that foot a little bit further back. And step into the other. So you're in a longer dog than you were before. And then come to your knees. So we're going to come into the full plank. So your knees should be behind your hips. Elbows again facing forwards. And again the temptation is to tip your pelvis forwards. So draw your belly up towards your spine. Inhale. Exhale, lift your knees, reach your way with the heels. Keep tummy muscles lifting up. Inhale, back down. Make sure you haven't tipped forwards. Exhale, lift your knees, reach back with the heels. Inhale, back down. Exhale again and lift the knees. And observe. So the temptation again is to tip your pelvis forwards. So tuck your tail under a little bit, just to counterpose that, to stop that from happening. Make sure your neck is free. Actively reach back with the heels. Think about your breastbone reaching forwards. Make sure you're still breathing. And then come down. And come into a child's pose for a moment. And then we're going to stretch the quads, which can be a little tight, as well as front of the hips. So take your hands behind you. You might need blocks here. So we're just going to do some Paddock Tilts first. So inhale, exhale, tip your pelvis back, so lift your pubic bone. Inhale, drop your pubic bone, so your pelvis tips forwards. Exhale, tip your pelvis back, you'll feel a stretch in the front of the thighs. Inhale, forwards. One more time, tip your pelvis back, and maybe lift your bottom up. Squeeze your buttocks, see if that gives you a little bit more lift. Lift your breastbone. Make sure your neck is free, so don't hang your head back. Either have your head in a straight line or your chin tucked in. Squeeze your buttocks so you can get a little bit more lift. And come down. Hands on the floor in front of you. Crease at the elbows, turning forwards. Toes under, back into downward dog. And take your feet further back into a longer dog. And on an exhale, come into plank. Again, check that you're not tipping your pelvis forwards. Tuck your tail under. Think about drawing your tummy up towards your spine. And then come down to your knees, onto your front. And take your hands wider than your mat. So your hands roughly underneath your elbows, up onto your fingertips. We're going to come into a higher variation of Cobra. So when you're ready to, keeping your body as soft as possible, inhale, open up into a back bend. Again, a back bend that works for you. Feel the stretch in the front of the hips, the whole of the front of the body. Exhale, come down. Inhale, come up. Exhale, come down. Again, only come up as high as works for you. Keep going. A few more times. Keep your shoulders away from your ears. Keep your neck soft. Listen to your back. Make sure your back is happy where you're going. And come down. Make a pillow with your hands. Turn your toes towards each other. And just shake your bottom out. It's a nice release. And then roll over onto your back. And bring your knees in towards your chest and just hug your knees, rock from side to side. It's a lovely stretch for the back. And another place that can be very tight is our erector spinae, the muscle that goes all the way up the back. Just stretching it out. Then bring your feet onto the floor, arms by your sides, shoulders away from your ears, and lift up into bridge. Shoulders really rooting down. We're going to again use the glutes here. So inhale, lower a little. Exhale, lift up, squeeze your buttocks. Inhale, lower a little. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, lower a little. Exhale, lift up, keep going. You feel those bottom muscles working. And then stay lifting. Press down with the backs of your shoulders. We're going to take a foot off the floor. So inhale, keeping your pelvis level. Exhale, lift your right foot. Inhale, foot down. Exhale, left foot. Inhale, foot down. You'll feel muscles all around the hips and the pelvis. Tummy working. Exhale, lift your right foot. Inhale, foot down. Exhale, left. Inhale, down. Then we're going to stay up. So exhale, lift your right foot. Inhale, lower your hips a little. Exhale, lift up higher. Inhale, lower a little. Exhale, lift up higher. One more time. Inhale, lower a little. Exhale, lift up higher. We're going to change feet. So bring that foot down. On an exhale, left foot up. Inhale, lower a little. Exhale, lift up higher. Inhale, lower. Exhale, lift up higher. One more time. Foot down and come down. And again, hug your knees. It stretches the glutes as well, so stretching the back and the bottom muscles, having made them work. We're then going to work lower abs very specifically. So take your hands behind your head. Actually, you may need them actually by your arms, so depending on how strong your abs are. But actually, let's start off with them by your sides. Take your right ankle over the top of your left ankle and bring your knees in towards your chest a little. Inhale, exhale, lift your bottom up. Try not to use your arms too much. Inhale, bottom down. Exhale, take your legs a little bit further away from you. Inhale, legs towards you. Exhale, lift up. Inhale, bottom down. Exhale, legs away. If you don't need your arms at all by your sides, take them behind your head. So exhaling, bring your legs towards, inhale, bring your legs towards you. Exhale, lift your bottom. Inhale, bottom down. Exhale, legs away. Keep going. Even if the movement is just small, try and keep it smooth. Try not to use too much momentum. And then change the cross of your ankles. It just makes it a little bit different. And keep going. So it's exhale, you're lifting up. Because the exhale is when our tummy muscles naturally engage. So it's really important to make sure you're using your tummy muscles on the exhale. And one more time. And again, hug your knees and rock from side to side. Give your back a nice massage. And then we're going to stretch out the glutes. So if you take your right thigh over the top of your left thigh and snuggle them over each other, flex your feet. It just helps to protect your knees. So flex your feet and catch hold of where works for you. So maybe it's the knees, maybe it's the ankles, maybe it's the around the shins. But just draw your knees in towards you and push your bottom away and down. And you should get a really good stretch in the right buttock. The more you bring your knees in towards you, the more you push your bottom away and down, the more you'll access that stretch. Don't throw your head back. Keep your chin tucked in. And breathe. Close your eyes. Just making sure that your knees are happy. Whenever we stretch in and around the hips, knees are vulnerable, which is why we're flexing the feet, just to keep the knees safe. Just long, deep breaths. Just observing that stretch. And if you lose the stretch, just bring your knees in a little closer. Push your bottom away a little bit more. And then change legs. Take your left thigh over the top of the right thigh. Again, wrap them around each other, snuggle them over. Flex your feet, especially if you're catching hold below the knees. And just catching hold of where works as you draw your knees in towards you and push your bottom away and down. Again, close your eyes and breathe deeply, using the breath to encourage your muscles to let go. Breathing through the nose. It's a much, much calmer, healthier breath than breathing through the mouth. And again, maybe if you lose the stretch, just bring them a little bit closer. Push your bottom away a little bit more. It should be a deeply satisfying stretch that you're getting. And then unwrap. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Hug your knees and rock from side to side. So let's take a moment of gratitude to your body for what it's done. Staying here for a moment. Just a gentle rock. And then bring your feet back onto the floor. Roll over onto one side and push yourself up to sitting. So do remember that when we have very tight front of hips, the power of those glutes, so if we really engage our glutes, so squeeze your glutes if you're feeling tight in the front of the hip, especially if you get pain, because this forward tilt of the pelvis can really cause back pain. It can actually even cause knee pain, ankle pain, as well as pain in the hips. So it's really worth addressing. But squeeze your glutes to release those front of the hips, but also remember the battery pack in your bottom. So when you go for a walk, imagine you're being powered by your bottom as you walk. And I hope this does help you. Thank you.